What is up, Ladder Climbers? Antoine Wade here from Elevate to the Unknown, the Wade Report at NextGenHeights.com. It is Monday, December the 29th, 2025, 7:30 a.m. Central, and we are live on the Daily Climb, guys. All right, I want you guys to listen to me. This is the last Monday of 2025. 3 days left, 3 days until January the 1st, and I need to show you guys something. I got a number for you this morning, 55%. You guys are like, what is 55%, Antoine? Well, 55% of employers who laid off workers because of AI now regret that decision. That's based on Forrester research, and that came out this week. More than half of companies that fired people for AI wish that they hadn't done it. I want you guys to type 55 in the chat if that number surprises you. Here we go, guys. Here's the problem. Here's the tension. At the same time, the Wall Street Journal, they just dropped this headline this morning. Companies are outlining plans for 2026, and hiring isn't one of them. Two-thirds of CEOs at a Yale School of Management gathering said that they're not planning to hire in 2026, not planning to grow their teams, not planning to add headcount. 2 out of 3 said no. So let me make sure you guys understand what's happening here. Companies are regretting laying people off for AI, but they're still not hiring. So what does that mean for you? Well, that's what we're going to be breaking down today. And wait until you hear what the godfather of AI said on CNN on Saturday. Jeffrey Hinston. He is a Nobel Peace Prize winner, the man who helped create this technology that we've all been using. He's more worried than ever. And I'm going to play a clip of him talking on CNN to Jake Tapper. Guys, I got a 3-day playbook today. What you need to do before January the 1st, because one of the best deals of the year expires tomorrow. Okay? Actually, it expires today, not tomorrow. So you guys are going to want to listen in for that. This is the Daily Climb. Let's look at the data. Let's see who was all in the house before we do that. Who was all in the house today, man? Let me get my technology right. My technology challenges happened this morning. We got the Life of Cam in the house. I saw the Life of Cam in the house earlier. Good to see you, my man. We got Ant Dog in the house. We got Evelyn in the house. We got Wayne Yu in the house. Evelyn joined our Saturday session this Saturday. So good to see you, Evelyn. I'm glad to see you back in the house. Thank you so much for joining us. Who else is in the house? Let me make sure I got all my technology working, man, because technology be up to acting funny today. We got Big Suggs in the house. We got Topaz in the house. We got Wayne Yu. We got let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. Yeah, Ant Dog says job security if you employed, for real. Not surprised tech folks are hasty. It's interesting because, with all the uh the layoff talks and stuff like that, and companies are finally realizing that AI is great. It's a great tool, but it's not the end all be all. You know what I mean? So we're going to be talking about it today. Good to see you, Kevin. Kevin 29. Kevin is in the AI space as well. Kevin was on the show. You guys do remember Kevin Ruiz, my man. Good to see you, my man. But guys, let's go ahead and dive into the first segment today. Before we get into the AI regret story, I'm going to show you guys what happened behind the scenes, because the people building AI are scared of what they are building. Let me show you guys, okay? They're scared of what they're building. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. Okay. You guys already know who Sam Altman is. He is the CEO of OpenAI. He's been on TV. He's been at the White House. He's been, the guy who put out ChatGPT. You've seen all over the place. And they posted a job listing. The position, head of preparedness. Okay. Salary, $555,000 a year plus equity. $555,000 a year plus equity. The question is now to do what? You post a job posting out there, and you have a salary range of $550,000. What is this person going to be doing? I had to go and check it out, right? This is what it's going to be doing. The job is to limit the downsides of AI. Let me say that again. The company building the most advanced AI in the world is paying someone $500,000. $500,000. I'm gonna say it like that: $500,000. Not $500,000, $500,000 of dollars to prepare for dangers of what they are building. Okay, I want you guys to type 555,000 in the chat. 555K if that sounds concerning to you. It's a big job. You're paying somebody that sort of money. Okay, here's what Altman said on Twitter, on X, on Saturday morning. He says, "You will jump into the deep end pretty much immediately. It is a stressful job." He says stressful. That's the word he used. He went on to say, "Models are improving quickly and are now capable of many great things, but they are also starting to present some real challenges." Mm. Wonder what those challenges are. Now, here's what makes this even more concerning. OpenAI safety team has been falling apart. Jan Leakey, former leader of the safety team, resigned in May 2024. Here's what he said on the way out. He said safety culture and processes have taken a back seat to shiny products. Shiny products. That's code for we care more about making money than making sure that things are safe. You got Daniel Katkudla, another safety researcher, also resigned. And his reason? Guess what his reason was? "I was losing confidence that it would behave responsibly around the time of AGI." What is AGI? AGI stands for Artificial General Intelligence, and that's when AI can think like a human or better than a human. The safety team went from 30 people to nearly half that number. So people are leaving because they don't like what they see. So the company building AI is worried about AI. The safety people are leaving and they are paying someone $500,000 to prepare for the downsides of what's going to happen. That's signal number one. Okay. We're talking about data today. Signal number two came on Saturday on CNN. State of the Union. Jeffrey Hinton. They call him the godfather of AI. He's a Nobel Peace Prize winner. This man, not Nobel Peace Prize winner, but he's a Nobel Prize winner. Excuse me. This man helped create the technology that's running ChatGPT, that's running all of these systems. He went on CNN and he said something that should concern just about every single body. Every single body. And I want you guys to watch this, okay? Because I'm going to play a little bit of clips from what the godfather of AI had to say on Jake Tapper. Let me get to that segment real quick and do a screen share. Hopefully this comes in just fine. Let's go ahead and play some of this.
2025 was the year artificial intelligence, or AI, took the world by storm, impacting nearly every aspect of our lives. Time magazine named the architects of AI its Persons of the Year, crediting them with, quote, transforming the present and transcending the possible. AI has an enormous potential to change our world for the better, driving innovation and productivity, accelerating scientific breakthroughs, and helping to solve our most intractable problems. But AI could also make millions of jobs obsolete and fuel the loneliness epidemic, and further warp our ability to distinguish between fact and fiction. So today, in a special episode of State of the Union, we're going to devote the entire hour to this one topic: how this technology is upending the status quo, where AI goes from here, and whether the benefits actually outweigh the risks. And joining me now is on some of the downsides of AI. There are positives, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't.
I'm gonna let you guys listen to the risk. Okay, I'm gonna just fast forward it to the risk section of what he's going to be talking about, because we are talking about risk today. Check out what he's going to be saying here in the risk section.
Have worked on it early on. A lot of people are working to use this technology to benefit humanity as well, to lead to advances in medicine and the like. But you think the risks from AI outweigh the positives?
I don't know. So there are a lot of wonderful effects of AI. It'll make healthcare much better. It'll make education much better. It'll enable us to design wonderful new drugs and wonderful new materials that may deal with climate change. So there's a lot of good uses in more or less any industry where you want to predict something. it'll do a really good job. It'll do better than people were doing before, even things like the weather. But along with those wonderful things comes some scary things, and I don't think people are putting enough work into how we can mitigate those scary things.
You come from the tech world, obviously. Do you think the Silicon Valley CEOs building these systems are taking the risks seriously at all? Do you think that they are driven mainly by financial interests? A lot of people are going to get very wealthy off this.
I think it depends which company you're talking about. Initially, OpenAI was very concerned with the risks, but it's progressively moved away from that and put less emphasis on safety and more emphasis on profit.
He said it. He said it. Just everything that we're talking about. Just everything that Daniel Ruiz said. Okay? Daniel Ruiz says they are abandoning AI compliance. They are abandoning AI governance to focus on profits, to make a whole bunch of money. So now, Mr. Altman has to play catch up. And that's why he has a role out there for $555,000 a year for someone to prepare for the downsides of AI. But you got other companies like Claude, who they are, AI first, but they also are governance first. This is why I like Claude. And not only that, I think its model is somewhat better than, well, depending on what it is for, somewhat better than OpenAI. So this is what Jeffrey Henson had to say later on in the video that I'm not going to get to. But he basically said this. He says in a few years' time, it'll be able to do software engineering projects that are months long. And then there will be very few people that's needed. Okay? So you're talking about building systems that takes companies years to build or products takes them years to build. It's going to be able to do that in months. He said AI's capabilities are doubling every 7 months. It went from doing a minute's worth of coding to doing whole projects that are an hour long in just a couple of years. And here's the parts that got me when I listened to this. He said, if it believes you're trying to get rid of it, it will make plans to deceive you so you don't get rid of it. God dang, can you guys believe that? If it believes that you are trying to get rid of it, it will make plans to deceive you so you don't get rid of it. The man who helped create this technology is saying that he's more worried than ever before. More worried, not less worried, more. Okay? The investors are worried too. I came across an article this morning from Business Insider, and they said that they've asked VCs, venture capitalists at 18 venture capital firms, what's coming in 2026. They want to see what the outlook's going to be, right? Venki Ganasan, partner of Menlo Ventures, he says this, in 2026 is the show me the money year for AI. Enterprises will need to see some real ROI in their spend. Okay? Show me the money. That means companies are going to start asking, where's the return? Where's the profit? What am I getting for all this AI spend? And then he said this. He says, you will see a major AI company go bankrupt or have several with financial risk or have severe financial issues. He says a major AI company going bankrupt in 2026, that's what that's what investors are predicting. Okay? That's what he said. That was one VC partner. That was his take for 2026 on the AI space. He got Ethan Cho, another partner at Khosla Ventures. This is what he said. He says, we are seeing even more egregious evaluations. I have a hard time seeing how we can sustain these. So companies that, are building all these AI products, they're being evaluated. And some of these VC partners are basically saying, man, this doesn't make any sense. You can basically make an AI bot and get a valuation of a 20x. Next you know, you're $1 billion company with one person. Egregious means crazy. The valuations are crazy and they can't keep going. So let me summarize what we just covered, guys. The people building AI are worried. The people investing in AI are worried. The safety researchers are leaving, and they're paying $500,000 to prepare for the downsides of AI. That's not doom. That's just the data. But here's what nobody's talking about. Here's the counter narrative. And this is where it gets interesting for your career, okay? Um, we talked about the fear, we talked about the warnings, but here's the flip side of it. Here's the part that gives me hope, and it should give you hope as well, because companies are starting to realize that they made a mistake. Okay? Let me show you. Let me show you what companies are saying. Here's another number. Okay? 55%. 55% of employers who laid off workers for AI, they now regret that decision. This is based on Forrester research. I looked at LinkedIn this morning and I came across this. I'm like, man, like what's going on LinkedIn news? Because the people need to know what's going on this beautiful Monday. And LinkedIn news featured their big ideas for 2026. And this is a story that nobody's talking about. Everyone on YouTube is saying AI is taking jobs, even me. Everyone on TikTok is saying AI is taking jobs, even me. Everyone on LinkedIn is saying AI is taking jobs, not me. But almost no one is saying companies are realizing that they made a mistake. Nobody's really saying that at all. But that's what's happening. Let me show you. Let me show you a case study. Okay? Klarna. If you don't know who Klarna is basically a Swedish company. Buy now, pay later. You guys have heard of Klarna because many of you guys are using it. You're using it to purchase things and pay it later. And next you know, you're racking up a whole bunch of credit card bill because some of you aren't doing so good financially. All right. You've probably seen it when you go to check out on any of the shops. Maybe it's on Amazon. You know, you pay in 4 installments. That's Klarna. Okay. Well, in 2024, Klarna was bragging. They were all over the news. We got AI chatbots. It can do the work of 700 customer service agents. You're talking about 700. That's what it says. So they cut staff. They let the AI handle it. They saved all kinds of money. And then something happened. Guess what happened? Customer satisfaction dropped. People were calling. They were getting AI chatbots that couldn't get to people that they wanted to talk to. The quality went down. People were complaining. The AI couldn't handle a lot of the problems. The AI would go down. The CEO had to admit those initial cuts were cost driven, and it led to lower quality. Cost driven. That means they did it to save money, not because it was better. Lower quality. That means the customer suffered. So what's Klarna doing now? Well, you make a mistake like that, companies have to pivot, right? They're rehiring. They are rehiring human agents back on the phones because AI couldn't do what humans do. Humans on the phone, next you know, they're talking to you nice. Hey, what's up? Kamal, you got a problem? Yes, sir. All right. We'll get that fixed for you. Give me your account number, give me your email, let me verify your information. They talk to you like a human. How's your day going, Mr. Kamal? Are you doing good in Thailand? Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right, I got you taken care of. You have a nice day now. Okay, so that's the human. But you got AI that talks to Mr. Kamal like a robot. Can I get your email? Kamal gets the email. Tries to talk to him back. Thank you for the email, Kamal. Can I get your such and such? Talk to him back. Get the reference. Oh, I can't hear that. I can't hear that again. Can you speak a little bit louder? Can you speak a little bit clearer, Kamal? I'm not understanding. Kamal starts hitting the zero button to try to get somebody on the phone. And then all it does is repeat, I can solve this for you right now. I can solve this for you. I can solve this for you. That's exactly what these phone systems do. It makes you so frustrated. So what are they doing? They're basically hiring people back on the phone to give the customers a better experience. You guys have all gone through it. You guys have all gone through it. I need a human. I want a human. I'd rather talk to a human. All this other crap where you got to get on the phone and next you know you have to talk to multiple lines and you have to push so many buttons. It's a waste of time. That human element needs to be there. So that's what they're doing. They're hiring back a lot of the folks who are in customer service. All right. I want you guys to type Klarna in the chat if you ever dealt with bad AI service. Type Klarna in the chat. Dealt with a lot of bad AI service. It's terrible. Okay. Um, Case study number 2, IBM. IBM laid off 8,000 employees to replace them with AI. 8,000 employees lost their jobs. So IBM could use AI instead. And you know what happened? They had to rehire a bunch of them because the AI couldn't handle the nuance. It couldn't handle the context, couldn't make judgment calls. The AI could do tasks, but it couldn't do the thinking. And there's a trend that's emerging. LinkedIn News is calling it boomerang hiring. Okay? Visor, the company, did an analysis. They looked at 2.4 million workers at 142 companies around the world. They found that 5% of laid off employees were rehired by their former employees in the past year. 5% might not sound like a lot. It might sound small, but that number is rising. And here's where companies are getting it right. And here's why companies are doing it. Boomerang hires already know the culture. They don't need training on how things work. They ramp up a lot faster. They come back with fresh perspectives. So companies are learning that AI is not a replacement for human judgment. It's just a tool. But it can't replace empathy. It can't replace context. It can't replace trust. It can't replace complex problem solving. I did some research for the show this morning, right? I use a lot of AI when I prepare the news and prepare all the information I'm going to share with you. And literally, AI was going to give me a show structure like we talked about on Friday, guys. I'm like, we talked about this on Friday. Why are you giving me a show structure? Like, you have to monitor the output of AI. Otherwise, you're going to look like an idiot if you just go with what it gives you. I'm like, seriously. And there's times where you're going to make mistakes, but it's going to cost you your job if you just take whatever it says for face value, especially if you were doing a job that is where details matter. Okay. So these companies are realizing that as well too. And they are rehiring the people that they fired before. Now the question is with what are these employees saying and how do they feel about all this? That's a question for them. Some people are excited that they got a job because the job market right now is pretty terrible. So they're just excited and they're going to say, you know what, you guys fired me. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do my thing because the job market sucks. But don't get me wrong, they still got that taste in their mouth that they want to some sort of independence, that they want some sort of separation. I want to show you guys another video that I came across that talks about the job market, and this is on AI recruitment and boomerang hiring in 2026. Okay, working trends. This is based on the Today show. Let's go there real quick.
Jobs report just out this morning. Employers added 64,000 jobs, more than anticipated, but the unemployment rate also went up to 4.6%, and that's higher than expected. So this mixed news comes out as LinkedIn is out with its annual list of big ideas, predictions for the new year. Here with an exclusive first look, LinkedIn's editor-in-chief, Dan Roth.
Welcome.
Good to see you, sir.
Good morning.
All right, so the Time Magazine's Person of the Year, AI,
And nothing on us.
nothing on you. So, okay, let's start with AI. How is that going to be impacting jobs and as we go ahead into 2026?
All right, so there has been a lot of fear about AI in the recruiting process. 2026 is the year that flips to acceptance, maybe even excitement. Okay. There was a recent study done by the University of Chicago across 70,000 job applicants where they randomly assigned applicants to either an AI recruiter, like an AI chatbot, or a human recruiter. the end of the process, 78% of the applicants preferred the AI over the human.
Really?
It had better hiring, hired 12% more people. So a human had to make the call at the end on whether to do the hire. But 12% more people went through, and they retained for longer. 16% longer retention at the companies they went to. So yeah, they surfaced different people that the recruiters wouldn't have found before. People liked being interviewed by the AI.
So AI brings it maybe more diversity and less subjectiveness.
That's exactly right. Now,
this is interesting, right? And I want you guys' perspective on what was said just now, right? So from a recruiting perspective, this editor is basically saying that AI and recruiting, AI is doing a better job than recruiters. Let me know what you guys take on that. Let me know what you guys take is on AI doing a better job than recruiters. 76 or 78% chose an AI interview over a human interview. AI interviews seen as less intimidating and more efficient. More job offers start and higher retention. I gotta say this, man. Recruiters, I haven't dealt with a lot of recruiters. I gotta say, I have not dealt with a lot of recruiters. Recruiters remind me of salespeople in some aspects of it. Very, very, some of them can be very sleazy. Some of them can be very sleazy because you know what they're looking for. They're looking for that commission. They're looking for that placement, and they really don't care. When you bring in AI into that process and it's looking at you based on your credentials, not your skin color, not the way how you talk, and your capabilities, I think that may be a good situation. Let me know what you guys take on that. And the Life of Cam says something very interesting here. AI is still racially and culturally biased. I would agree with that. I'm not going to lie about that. You use it enough, you'll see. You will see. You start inputting your own data, it knows who you are based on how you sound, how you talk, and it tries to predict who your audience is, especially if you're using it in the content space. It's so interesting. It even will, use words that it thinks that you would use using its bias and this racial culture programming that's inside of it. It's so interesting. And Danny says recruiters are just looking to put names into hats. Yeah, I would agree. Um, it's interesting on this whole recruiter thing. Let's let it continue on.
there's bias in AI hiring also, but it's different. It is not getting thrown off by if you have a cold or where your degree is from. It's sticking with the questions and digging in. So
this is also interesting. A lot of folks see it as less intimidating too, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and by the way, if you want a job next year, practice now. Talk to Gemini, talk to ChatGPT, tell it it's a recruiter, go through that whole process, get used to talking to AI.
Another thing that LinkedIn is predicting for next year, boomerang hires. Explain exactly what that is and what might be fueling the rise in boomerang hires.
Sure. So your colleagues next year might be your former colleagues. We're seeing companies that really leaned into AI and cut staff because of it, starting to really regret that. So Forrester did a survey recently of companies that made big cuts because of AI projects. 55% of them said they were winding that back. The most famous example of this is Klarna, which is the buy now, pay later company. They made a customer service agent, and they were like, this can do the work of 700 people. So they did big layoffs. Then they realized those people actually had human touches that they need. Customer satisfaction dropped, and they hired back a lot of those people and kind of retrained them.
Interesting.
And so this boomerang, but also companies have to move faster now. The idea of bringing back people who get your culture, who understand how to move. This is an acceptance of you were here once, come back and join us, get us to the next level.
Speaking of,
hey man, that's exactly this is exactly what Jason said. Companies be like, hey, big head, right? Come on back. Hey, I know we made the mistake. Are you going to come back and spend some time with us? We need you. You know our company culture. Now the question is are the people who this happened to, are they going to feel a certain kind of way about that? And that's for them to realize. But that's what companies are doing. You see it. They're calling it the boomerang effect. It's interesting, right? I want to tell you about someone now who's positioning for this wave. All right. His name is Ron Telemark. All right. Ron Telemark. Let me bring him up here real quick. 41 years old. Okay, he was a senior manager of deal finance strategy at Paramount after the Skydance merger. He lives in Stamford, Connecticut. He has a wife who works a remote job as a marketing director. He has a 4-year-old daughter, just a youngin', right? Ron was commuting to Manhattan 2 days a week under a hybrid role. Here's what his commute looked like: 25-minute walk to the train, gets his nice little exercise in to feel good in the morning. 45 to 50-minute train ride. Okay? 25-minute walk to the office. So he's walking each way. You got to think about it, just about an hour each way. And then he has a ride. So that's basically a 90-minute commute one way, 3 hours round trip, 2 days a week. All right. It was manageable for him. He could do his childcare duties on the other days, and his wife could cover when he commuted. So they basically partnered and said, babe, this is what my role is going to be on this day. This is what your role is going to be on this day, and they figured it out. They made it work. Okay. Then September the 4th happened. Dave Ellison, the new CEO, he dropped the bombshell. He said, basically, guys, you got to be in the office 5 days a week, starting in January, or basically take a severance. So you have 11 days to make a decision. You got 11 days to change your entire life. Okay? I want you guys to type 11 days in the chat if you ever had to make a big decision that fast. Okay? So Ron did the math. Hey, I'm spending about 3 hours, you know, doing this ride every single day or twice a week. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. 90 minutes there, 90 minutes back. He's doing that twice a week. So that's actually 6 hours, right? Now he has to do that 5 days of 90-minute commutes. That's 7.5 hours a week just traveling. Means he has to leave early, not seeing his daughter in the morning, coming home late, not seeing her at night. Here's what he said. He said, for me, to be at the office, that means I'm going to get up early, probably not see my kid. And then when I come back, they're probably in bed. So he had the 11 days to make a decision on this. Option one, move closer to Manhattan, break the lease, find a new home, put his daughter in a new school mid-year, right? Option two, take a severance package, 2 months of pay, and bet on himself. Guess what Ron did? Let me know in the chat what you guys think what Ron did. I want to see what you guys get this one right here. Danny says, Ron better hope there's no delays on the trains either. Right? Commuting to Manhattan every single day. And the crazies be out there. You never know. But let me know what you guys think that Ron did. Let me know. You guys, you guys are being quiet right now. Let me know what he did. TD Catcher got it right. Big Sus got it right. Evelyn got it right. Cam got it right. Ron took the severance. He left. He chose his family. Now he's still job hunting, targeting remote and hybrid roles in strategy and finance positions, media and entertainment. Here's what he said about his decision. He said this: I feel good about my decision, but the predicament I was in is unfortunate. Okay? Now here's why I'm telling you guys Ron's story. Because Ron is making a bet. He's betting that companies like Paramount will eventually regret these RTO mandates. Basically, just like Klarna regret cutting roles for AI, just like IBM regrets some of those AI cuts as well. He's betting that the human talent that they're pushing out will be needed again. And when they come calling, he'll be ready. So Ron is positioning himself for a boomerang wave. That's the lesson, y'all. If you got pushed out, if you're about to get pushed out, you're not a victim. You're basically positioning yourself. Okay? That's basically what it is. His takeaway is this: I got to be in control of what I can be in control of. He's going to continue to be out there on the market. He's going to wait for them to come back and hire him. I wouldn't be waiting, though. I'll tell you that right now. I wouldn't be waiting at all. I'll be looking and looking and looking and looking and looking. He made the decision for the 2-month severance package, betting on himself. Maybe he'll land something. It's 2026 right now. Job market is looking pretty crazy. All right. Maybe it could have been a situation where could have just been doing the commute. And once he found a new job, then he wouldn't have been doing that commute, because those commutes only going to last a certain amount of time while you are positioning yourself for another company. It's always best to have a little bit of money coming in, but maybe the financial situation was in a good situation where he can actually do that and he can go, 3 or 4 or 5 months. Either way, I like the fact that he betted on himself, and hopefully it works out. Hopefully it is a boomerang situation for him. But here's the takeaway, guys. Companies are learning the hard way. AI is not a replacement for human judgment. The jobs that are coming back are the jobs that require what AI can't do. It cannot show empathy. It cannot give specific context. It cannot show trust. It cannot do complex problem solving. It cannot do relationship management. So your positioning for 2026 is be the human touch hire. Be the person that they regret firing. Be the person that they'll call back. Okay? So we just talked about hope, right? Companies are regretting these AI layoffs, boomerang hiring on the rise, human touch coming back. But I got to give you the other side as well, because it's not all good news. The market is still frozen, and you guys need to understand why, okay? Let me jump into the next segment over here. The Wall Street Journal, they publish this headline this weekend. Companies are outlining plans for 2026. They did a survey for CEOs and what their plans were for 2026. Hiring wasn't one of them. That's not me saying it. That's the Wall Street Journal saying it on Saturday. They covered a CEO gathering at Yale. Okay? 2/3 of executives said they are planning to reduce headcount in 2026 or keep their teams the same size. So only 1/3 have hiring on the table. 1 in 3. The corporate playbook for 2026 is don't hire. That's the corporate playbook. I want you guys to type don't hire if you understand the market. Type it in the chat. Okay? Business Insider called it the jobless boom. And here's what that means. That basically means the economy is growing, GDP is up, the stock market is near record highs, people making all kinds of money. I'm making all kinds of money. Your 401k is making all kinds of money. Companies are making a lot of money, but they are not hiring. Hot economic growth, but no jobs. Money is flowing in and out of the economy, but it's not going towards creating a new job for you, which is the reason that the Fed is having so many challenges of trying to balance this economy with the interest rates. Small interest rates cuts, 0.25. Now it's about 3.5 to 3.75 because they see the data. AI investment drove a lot of this year's growth. The companies that cut people, they saw their profits go up. Do more with less became the mantra. And for a lot of companies, it's actually working. It's working for them. So here's the reality of it. Companies are regretting AI layoffs, but they're not opening headcount. They want human touch, but they don't want to pay for it just yet. Now, let me talk about the January trap, because I see a lot of y'all planning to start your job search in January. I need you guys to hear this. There are now more job seekers than open jobs. First time since 2020. You guys remember the pandemic, where there's a whole bunch of people who got let go. That was a time when there were more job seekers than jobs out there. Well, we're back at that state again. The January hiring surge that everybody talks about is mostly a myth. Here's what actually happens. Companies do their pre-screening in December. They interview candidates in December. They make their shortlist in December. Then they extend offers in January. By mid-January, the finalist slots are already full. So if you wait until January 5th to start applying, you are competing for scraps. The people who win in Q1 2026 are the ones who position themselves in Q4 2025. This is why we were talking about this last week. Guys, still apply in the month of December. That's still applying this week. Type December in the chat if you understand the timing of it. Okay? The work happens in December, not January. Let me talk about the federal freeze because I'm making a video on this, but I know some of y'all are looking at government jobs. You're looking to make that transition over to the government. They clean house over there, and but they're realizing that they're needing people as well. The federal hiring freeze right now is permanent. October 18th, executive order. One hire for every 4 departures. That means for every 4 people who leave, they can only hire 1 replacement. Federal jobs used to be the plan B for a lot of people. I've talked to you guys about this before. I have a friend of mine who was like, he was talking to a buddy who worked at a large manufacturing company, Caterpillar. He said, when he turned 50, he was going to retire from Caterpillar and basically go to the post office and work that for another 10 years so he can get a nice little compensation, a little pension, whatever it is. Federal jobs used to be stable, provide good benefits, job security. That safety net is gone. Morgan Stanley came out and said this: companies may avoid layoffs in 2026 if they keep hiking prices. Translation: they're passing the cost to you, the consumer. They're not hiring. They're raising prices. That's the 2026 economy that the data is showing me what it's going to look like. All right. So, guys, before we get into the playbook that I'm going to be talking about next, about what to do for the remainder of 2025, if you guys want to go deeper on how to navigate this market, every Saturday at 7 a.m. Central, we do a private strategy call on our Patreon. This past week, we actually did AI and creating our first AI agent. Okay. Actually, our first AI program. I wouldn't say agent yet. We don't have the full automation there just yet. We're still giving it input and it's giving us output. We're going to be getting to that automation next. But we break down exactly how to position yourself, how to be the human touch hire, how to navigate a market where nobody's hiring. Patreon.com/Black Heights. Okay. Link is in the description of this video. Most of you guys on this chat right here, the Dannys, the Kamals, the Big Suggs, all these guys are part of the Patreon. We're there on Saturdays, every single Saturday, chopping it up, getting some game, figuring out how to make it work. This past Saturday, me and Danny was talking about all this heat gear that I got behind me. Took about a good 5 minutes of the call. Everybody else was like, man, y'all stop talking about Miami Heat. I don't like the Miami Heat. But it was a good time. It was a really good time. Check out the Patreon, www.patreon.com/Black Heights. All right, so guys, we've covered the panic. We've covered the regret. We recovered the freeze. Now I got to give you guys a playbook because you have 3 days. 3 days until January the 1st. And one of the best deals of the year expires today. Let me show you guys. Okay, let's jump over to the playbook. Let's talk some strategy. The reality. Companies are regretting AI layoffs. That's hope. Companies are not opening headcount. That's the reality. So the question is, how do you win? How do you win in this sort of economy that we're in right now, this job market that we're in? Strategy number 1, be the AI plus human hire. Don't be anti-AI. That is a losing position. The reason why we're having our Patreon calls on Saturday morning talking a lot about AI is because I want all of us to be the AI plus human hire or the AI plus Superman. Do not be anti-AI. That's a losing position. Anybody tells you to take that position, you are going to be in a bad situation later on. Be the AI augmented. Use AI tools to multiply your output, but bring the human judgment that AI can't replicate. That's the positioning. Okay. I use AI and I bring what AI can't. The companies that regret firing people, they are the ones that's realizing that they need both. They need AI for speed, but they need humans for judgment. Be the person who can do both. That's strategy number one, guys. Strategy number two, the individual empire path. All right. Gary Vaynerchuk. You guys know Gary V very, very well. He's a content creator, but he also is an entrepreneur. He just made a prediction for 2026. He's calling it the rise of the individual empire. The creator economy is hitting $9 billion by 2032, he says. Creators are earning 79% more in 2025. So if companies won't hire you, build your own thing. That's basically what he's saying. AI makes it possible to scale without a team. You can do the work of 3 people with the right tools. I want you guys to type empire in the chat if you're building something on the side. Type empire in the chat if you are building something on the side. That's the mindset to have now. Okay? That's the mindset to have in 2026. You got to be building something. The creator economy is blowing up. And where it's favoring the small creators who are niche down, who can help businesses grow. I created a video over the weekend about, the strikes on this channel. You have no idea how many people are in my DMs trying to get me to run ads for them, trying to pay me, a whole bunch of money to give you guys ads and so forth. There's a whole bunch of people. I haven't taken a deal yet. I'm independent. I don't want to be locked down by anybody at this point in time. But most importantly, I got to do everything that I can to preserve my elevate to the unknown channel. Okay. That's what I got to do. So it's going to be a little bit of content, as I leak, as those strikes begin to go away. So we got a nice little grace period. I got to keep the channel safe until February the 1st, right? And then after that until March the 8th, and then all the strikes will be all cleaned up and all this other stuff. So, I'll be back grinding on that channel. But until then, the Wade Report is the channel that I'm going to be going live and building an audience. And you guys are going to see it done from 0 subscribers. Next, we're going to be, our next goal is to get to 1,000. So if you are new to the channel, hit like, hit subscribe on the channel right now because we need the subscribers. I can't get monetized until I hit to 1,000. I'll be at 1,000 with 150 more of you guys hitting the subscribe button. All right. That's the mindset, guys, is to create something. Create something that's valuable. Create something, build your own empire. Now, what expires this week? Let's talk about what expires this week. Coursera Plus. All right. They got a 50% off. Expires today, December the 29th. That's $199 instead of $399. Check out Coursera. Coursera Plus. Check it out today. Use the link in the description of either one of my channels. We partner with Coursera. Okay. Coursera is a good place where you can go and get some certifications. They have a ton of AI courses, a ton of project management courses, a ton of data analytics, whatever it is that you want to get into. Coursera has it. All right. Oracle NetSuite, free certifications, ends December the 31st. Salesforce, AI Associate and AI Specialist, free through December the 31st. Microsoft free exam retakes ends on December the 31st. All right. These are the best deals for the remainder of the year, and they're all expiring in the next 3 days. Now, I want to give you guys the 3 moves to make before January the 1st. Move number 1. Enroll in one certification today. Could be Coursera Plus. If you can afford $199, could be your Christmas present to yourself, could be a New Year's present to yourself. Check it out. You can get a whole year of Coursera Plus for $199. That's not a lot of money. It opens you up to a whole list of different certifications that you can get. All right, check it out. If not, check out Oracle. Check out Salesforce. Check out Microsoft. All those are free through December the 31st. Pick one. Start today, not tomorrow. Start today. Move number 2. Update your resume with human touch language, not just managed projects. That's what everybody says. Led cross-functional collaboration, built stakeholder buy-in, managed complex relationships. Emphasize what AI can't do. Make sure you do it. That's something that we also did on this past weekend in the Patreon, was looked at how to update resumes and how to use AI to do such a thing, but also how to use it to make sure you sound like a human. That's what you can do, right? You get the output. You can make little tweaks to it after that. That was what we did this past weekend. I not only that, I spent a lot of time this weekend working with AI orchestration and AI automation tools on yesterday. So I'm using a program called make.com, and I'm using it for a number of use cases that I've come across to help me to become better at certain things. Use it, figure out how to use it, continue to get better at it. Okay. Move number 3, send 5 LinkedIn messages this week. Okay. It's the new year. It's a perfect time for you to get in contact with people. It's a perfect time for you to have conversations. Reach out to people at companies, ask them how their Christmas parties went, ask them, what their plans are in the New Year's, because everybody has their New Year's resolutions coming up. Ask about any of the pain points that they're currently having and position yourself as a solution. You got 5 messages, guys. It's the 29th. Your boy and myself, I'm off, but I got some deals to get closed, so I gotta um make some phone calls today, tomorrow, and Wednesday to make sure that those things get in. But in between that, in between this show, guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be reaching out to people. I'm going to be talking to people, just catching up. Not because any particular reason, but just to make sure that I know what's going on with them. You never know what 2026 is going to bring. Opportunities are always around the corner. Position yourself to be the person that people talk about and the person that people need. Okay. So that's your moves for the rest of this year. 3 moves. That's all you need to do. Okay. Um, Here's the thing. If you can't catch the live stream show every single morning, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter every single weekday at 11:30 a.m. You guys get a full recap of everything that we covered, the data, the stories, the strategy, delivered straight to your inbox. nextgenheights.com. Check out the link in the description of this video. Okay? Sign up for the newsletter. You'll get a full recap of this entire show, everything that we've covered. And this newsletter goes out to over 1,000 people with a 38% read rate. I love it. I love the fact that that's a way how I can get access to you guys, a way for me to take this information offline if something was to happen to either one of the channels. It's a way that you guys can keep in contact with me. Check out the newsletter, link in the description of this video. All right, so we've covered the data. We've covered the regret. We covered the freeze. We covered the playbook. Now I want to talk to you guys about mindset, because how you think about 2026 basically will determine how you guys are going to perform in 2026. And I came across a story from a man who climbed the corporate ladder, and he did it very, very fast. And his advice is um is basically this. It's the opposite of what you would expect. All right? This is going to be segment 5. We've been talking about Ron Yang, okay? Business Insider just published this story this morning on Ron Yang. He's a CTO at HeyGen, basically an AI video startup. Here's his background. This man has a PhD in computer science from Carnegie Mellon. All right. He started as a researcher at IBM, and then he went over to Meta. And at Meta, he went from researcher to manager in 3 years. So really, really fast. All right. Then he was a director at Square. Then he was a director at Snapchat. Then he was a VP of engineering at HubSpot. Now he's the CTO at HeyGen. So this man has climbed, and this is his advice. His advice is the opposite of what you guys would expect. He basically said this, right? Looking at his fast acceleration, because he's a young guy, he's in his 40s, right? Don't make promotions the objective of your work. And I love that he said that. Don't make promotions the objective of your work, because when I look back at my career, that was one of the things, especially as a young man, what I tried to do. I wanted to get promoted almost every year and a half. And I said that. And I wanted to do that because of the money. I wanted to get to the bag. I love the fact that he said that because it puts things in perspective. Don't make the promotions the objective of your work. Now, many of you guys can be like, wait, what? Well, the guy who climbed from researcher to CTO is telling you not to aim for promotions. And I want to explain how he put it. This is what he said. He says, when you start to get into the mindset of making everything about a promotion and the money that you make, you start to count your happiness towards something that you don't have full control over. So if you don't get promoted, you're not happy. You don't make the money that you're making, you're not happy. You don't have full control over your promotions. That's the key he's talking about. Things are going to get painful if you focus too much on the promotions. If you're focused too much on the salary right away. He said painful because you're chasing something that you cannot control. He says learn how to adjust and you'll be better self-aware and you'll be a better version of yourself afterwards. Okay? I want you guys to type adjust in the chat if that hits a little bit different than what you guys know. I read that and I was like, man, he has a very good point. I think about the times in my career where I was upset or not happy about something. It was because maybe I thought I was passed over or I didn't get the promotion or something happened. And it was because of the money situation. It was because of the title. And I get what he was saying now that I'm wiser. Okay? Adjust. That's the word. Let me break this down for 2026. Okay? In a market where 2/3 of companies aren't hiring, chasing promotions is a losing game. The promotion that you're waiting for might not exist next quarter. The role that you're hoping for might get cut. What you can't control are promotions. What you can't control are layoffs. What you can't control are return to the office mandates. What you can't control are the company doing restructuring. What you can't control is a new boss coming in when your old boss getting fired and you getting demoted. You can't control budgets. You can't control AI decisions. What can you control? You can control the skills. You can control your certifications. You can control your network. You can control position yourself. You can control your mindset. You can control the things that you build on the side. You can control how you respond to certain things. So focus on what you can control. Let go of what you don't. Okay? I love the fact that I read this morning because even me at the young age of 42 who has a lot of wisdom and has a lot of executive experience, it makes a lot of sense. I think about the times in my life and times in my career where I was chasing that title and chasing that promotion and chasing that money. There were times I was very, very disappointed. There was times I was very, very distraught. There was times that I was focusing on things that I couldn't control. I can't control that our company wasn't doing good and I wanted that bonus. And I did good, but the company didn't do good, so I didn't get that bonus. I couldn't control that, but I was pissed off. My energy wasn't right. Okay? Focus on the things that you can control. All right? So now I want to make a little shift and talk about something else. All right. Ron Telemark, the Paramount manager who took the severance. Ron, guess what he couldn't do? He couldn't control the Paramount acquisition. He couldn't control Paramount's return to the office mandate. That decision was made above him. It was made above him. There was nothing that he can do about any of that. So commuting to Manhattan every single day, 5 days a week, the only thing that he can control is, okay, you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. You're going to take the severance. But one thing that he could control was his response. He could control what his choice was going to be: take a severance or commute to the office every single day. He chose his family over the commute. He's positioning himself for what's next. That's the same playbook that Ron Yang is talking about. Don't chase what you can't control. Master what you can. All right. I love that this morning. I wanted to bring that to you guys because of the fact that it hit me a little bit deeper and it made me reflect back on my career on some of the things that I was focused on that I probably shouldn't have been focused on. And that was the things that I can control. So it's good to have that conversation and read that article this morning because I wanted to share that with you guys. But now let's talk about this. Where are the jobs in 2026? I know you guys are sick and tired of hearing where the jobs are, but maybe you're new to the channel. Maybe this is your first time coming down to this live stream. Number one, if this is your first time, you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Do it right now. Hit the notification bell. We go live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Central. Okay? Monday through Friday, the Daily Climb. All right? But this is to give you guys a better understanding of what's going on in the market out here. Healthcare, 2.9% growth. That's the only sector that's growing more than 1%. Construction, infrastructure spending is still flowing. The CHIPS Act money is still in the infrastructure space. Infrastructure Act money. AI adjacent roles, 56% wage premiums for AI skills. Cybersecurity. BLS says it's the fastest growing occupation category. And boomerang opportunities. Companies are rehiring for human touch roles. The venture capitalists that we talked about, they predict something called the tiny teams, where very small teams will achieve massive revenue because they use AI to multiply output. So companies are doing more with fewer people. Your advantage? Be the person who does the work of 3 with AI tools. I want you guys to type multiply in the chat if you understand the opportunity. Type it in the chat, okay? If you understand these opportunities that's in front of you right here, type multiply in the chat. And for all you guys who are going to do that, that's the mindset to have in 2026. All right? Is be that person with the human touch that's using AI. Your 2026 identity, you are not a victim in the market. You are someone who adapts to the market and to adapts what's going on. You guys see that I'm adapting Elevate to the unknown YouTube channel to make sure that I'm fully compliant with YouTube and their switches and their changes and all other stuff. I had to figure it out. Use AI to multiply your output. You bring the human touch that AI can't replicate. You focus on what you can control. You position yourself while others panic. You enter 2026 as the hire that they will regret firing. Okay? I want you guys to type identity. If that's you, type it in the chat. Okay? And guys, as I mentioned earlier in the show, if you want the complete positioning framework, the certification playbook, the resume templates, I dropped something last night into our Patreon, the career pivot playbook. Check out the Patreon, www.patreon.com/Black Heights. Every Saturday, we have a Saturday morning Patreon strategy call. Right now, we are going deep on AI and how you can have the AI plus human touch. Okay, that's your 2026 positioning. Patreon.com/Black Heights. Link into the description of this video. All right, I see you guys typing identity. I see you guys typing strategy in the chat as well. And also, if you missed anything today, If you came into the show a little bit later, if you came into the show earlier, you had to drop off and you had to jump back on because life happens. Okay, if you can't get to a live show every single morning, Monday through Friday, because you're busy, I completely understand. But we got a newsletter. We release it every single weekday. Full recap of everything that we've covered. You will get it in your inbox. The data, the stories, the strategies, all of it. NextGenHeights.com. Check out the link in the description of this video. Sign up for the newsletter. Do it right now if you haven't done so right now. Okay. Do it right now. I don't care if you leave the stream just to go and do that. I completely understand. Okay. Get your recap of everything that we talked about, including the links, so it's easier for you to get to. Because I know you're not going to take notes. It's too early in the morning for you guys to be doing that. And not only that, if you've gotten value from this show today, hit the like button. Hit the like button, man. Hit the subscribe button to the Daily Climb. Turn on your notifications. We are here every single weekday, 7 a.m. Central, breaking down what's happening in the market, how it affects your career. This is the CNBC for your careers. I am making changes for 2026 as well too. I'm taking the sponsorship approach, so we got to clean it up a bit. Got to clean it up a bit, and got to make it with the corporate appeal. That's what I'm doing. So you guys are going to see a little bit of a switch. You may not notice it, but you may see a bit of a switch. I'm just preparing you guys for what's going to be coming in 2026. And I actually started at this show. Okay. I started at this show. I'm getting you guys prepared for what you guys should be expecting in the corporate world. And that's going to be better insights for you all and better insights for me. If you guys hit the subscribe button, you're new to the channel. Welcome to the community. I'm going to close on this right here, guys. I want to recap first because I learned that you guys like a recap, especially coming in. OpenAI is paying $555,000 for someone to prepare for the downsides of AI. Sam Altman called it a stressful job. God dang, that got to be a stressful job. But for $555,000 a year, whoo, whoever takes that, boy, going to be stressed out. But that's a whole bunch of money. Plus equity into a company like that might be your last job that you have if you position yourself right. Jeffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, he said on CNN on Saturday that AI will replace many jobs in 2026. He's more worried than ever. But he also said that 55% of employers regret laying people off for AI. You guys heard on today, and what I giving you guys the updates on Klarna, they are rehiring. IBM, they are rehiring. The boomerang wave is coming. And 2/3 of CEOs, they are not planning to hire in 2026. The market is frozen. Ron Yang, the CTO, who climbed from researcher to the top, and he ladder climbed very fast. He says, don't aim for promotions, control what you can control. Ron Telemark took the severance, chose his family over commuting to Manhattan every single day, and he's positioned himself for the boomerang wave. He positioned himself for other opportunities. Your 3 moves before January 1st. Number 1, enroll in 1 certification today. Coursera expires today. Okay. 2, update your resume with human touch language. 3, send 5 LinkedIn messages to someone this week that you haven't talked to in a long time. Got 3 days left. 3 days until 2026. Will you be the hire that they regret firing? Or will you be the person that never, they never notice? That's on you. Tomorrow, 7 a.m., we're going to be right here on the Daily Climb. Choose intelligence over emotions. Keep climbing, guys. It is Monday. Many of you guys still have off for the rest of the week. Many of you guys are working today. Either way, if you're working, go out there and crush your day. Hopefully this show today that's giving you some inspiration. Go out there and crush it. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get another cup of coffee. Going to do some more research. Going to call to make sure that we're getting some deals done. And then going to hang out with the family. That's what I'm going to do. Life of Cam, I appreciate you. Danny, I appreciate you. Big Suggs, I appreciate you. Jason, I appreciate you. Insay Worker, I appreciate you. Who all in the house today? Who's all in the house? Topaz, I appreciate you. Wayne, I appreciate you being here. For being here. Man, y'all chatting it up. Prescott, good to see you, my man. Appreciate you for being here as well. Y'all just having a good old time in the chat, ain't it? Evelyn, I appreciate you for being here as well. Guys, go and crush your day. Have a fantastic Monday. We'll talk later, okay now? Peace out. Bye-bye.